what's going on in the hood.
Hey, what it do? It's your girl True here, and hey, is it just me, y'all, or does it seem like it is a lot of rap beef going on these days? I mean, just look at what's going on between Remy Ma Drag and Nicki Minaj, and Yo Gotti going Call of Duty on Young Dolph, and Mo3 and Sister Williams steady just exposing everyone in the city. Oh my goodness. I can't even keep up with it all. But what we need to be keeping up with is this stuff that the media is trying to hide from us. Let's get to it. It's True Talk time. I'm far from perfect, but I know my purpose. And nothing or no one can hold back the truth. According to the World Press, over 64,000 African American women are missing in America. And it's so ridiculous that the ratio of men missing in America triples the amount of women missing in America. Now you probably ask yourself, why is it that African Americans are going missing, or why are people being abducted here in America? Well, the answer lies within these two words: organ trafficking.
Body parts. They've been selling body parts. That's old. That's not new. That's why black people don't like to go to hospitals. They go to get their toes clipped, their fingernails clipped, and they wake up and their foot's gone.
They've been utilizing the organs of black people for years, the organs and the body parts and the members of African American people, and that goes back to George Washington. There's a long time myth that George Washington had wooden teeth. We've heard that myth growing up in school. The reality is George Washington did not have wooden teeth, because common sense will tell you you can't put wood in your mouth, it gets wet, and wet wood is useless. What George Washington did, he had the teeth of his African slaves yanked out of their mouths, and he made dentures out of these teeth. And they're on display. His dentures are on display at museums right now. And that just goes to show the history of African people having our bodies mutilated and our members disfigured and mutilated for the betterment and benefit of the dominant society.
In America, at least 2,500 black people go missing every year. At least. Never to be found again, not killed enough, you just don't find them again. Why doesn't that number ever go down? How can you constantly have the same amount of people? Are you trying to say the same killers go out and murder the same amount of people every year? No. Somebody is taking black people off the street. There's been stories on this. Kidnapped by the government. Kidnapped by organ traffickers.
Drive-by shootings is organ stealing.
I'm worth $50 million and I need a kidney. And kidneys are pretty sensitive. You gotta find somebody who really got the kidney that matches yours. You think I'm gonna wait till somebody die for me to get one? If I don't get one soon, I'm gonna die. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pay somebody to go research people. Okay, let's go look at all the black organ donors. Let's look at all the black people who got organ donor on their driver's license, which is why I'm not a friend of that. I say, if you wanna donate your organs, put it in your will. Say that if I die, this can go to my family, my relatives, my friends, or whomever. But when you put it on your license, I believe you make yourself a public target. And so what did they find? We got a guy in Los Angeles. He has the same blood type as you, same kidney type as you likely. He healthy though. He ain't likely to die no time soon. He don't know you, so he ain't gonna give you no organ for free. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna arrange a murder that makes it look like he was in a car accident. We're gonna arrange a murder that makes it look like he committed suicide. So the next thing you know, you coming out the gas station, boom, you get hit by a Mack truck. You dead, gone. You get taken to the funeral home. Your family come to the funeral. They don't know that before your body got laid to rest, a little hole was poked and they pulled your kidney out.
A lot of people don't know, when you get arrested or even when you get convicted, a lot of times law enforcement or police will swab your mouth for DNA. And now they have your DNA record on file, they have your genetic information on file. And you have to understand, with law enforcement, a lot of times they'll sell your information to tabloids and, like, especially celebrities, they sell their information to tabloids and magazines and news outlets all the time. So it's not a stretch to believe that they won't use your DNA or your genetic information for nefarious reasons.
You, my son. Cops come by and inform me you just been shot dead. You don't have jurisdiction over that body. That's the coroner. You can't get that body until the coroner release you. So we get released, we go down and pick it up, and I see all these cuts and these stitches. I just thought they was doing a routine investigation, following the I didn't know it took your organs. I'm under all this stress, my son is dead. Well, you buried now, I can't dig you up because the court got the information. Most of those cases is organ stealing.
It's been known for a long time, even back in slavery times, that black organs were considered superior genetically to other folks' organs. For example, whenever there's a transplant, okay, especially when rich folks get heart transplant, liver transplant, kidney transplant, they like black organs. We had a famous case in Pennsylvania, Governor Casey, who was one of the most racist governors who ever lived back in the late 80s, early 90s. He had a heart transplant. Guess whose heart they gave? A black person's heart.
Down in Georgia, there was a case of an African-American 17-year-old kid who was found mysteriously dead at school. He died in the gym. They did an autopsy and they buried him. His family, they weren't satisfied with the results because they still wanted to know what happened to their son. They had the body exhumed, found out that his organs were missing and his body was stuffed with newspapers, and people are still trying to find answers. The officials down there in Georgia, they act like they don't know what's going on. There was another case out in California. A young African-American man was found dead in Death Valley in the desert. All of his organs were missing. His liver, heart, lungs, kidneys, all gone. There's a case in the UK recently. A Somalian girl was brought over there for organ harvesting. They found out that they were going to harvest her organs and they stopped that. There was another case in Asian couples. They went over to Africa. They adopted a black girl. 2 weeks later, she was dead. So these cases of organ harvesting are just going on all over the world, and people are being real quiet about it.
The Rodney King riots. The cops arrested 18,213 black folks. They couldn't account for 10,000 of them.
That's what happened in New Orleans. Remember when you saw those helicopters? They were picking up all them black babies and taking them up in the helicopter. And my husband and I sit there and said, we wouldn't have sent our son with them. I don't care who they was. We all died in the water together. We wouldn't have sent our baby up there. And they never got a bunch of those children back, as we all know.
And we have already reports of a lot of trafficking, even of organ trafficking.
Of organ trafficking? Yeah.
Now, already.
Of the victims of the earthquake?
Yeah. So,
do you know that for sure?
Yeah.
Finding enough organs for people that are desperately in need of transplants, and we are very short of organ donors.
There are just not enough organs to go around. That is the rate limiting step.
Increased dramatically, and thus we need more and more organs, and we are thus going more towards living donation as we are able to make these operations quite safe. The kidney and the liver, they're what we call primitive organs. And the more primitive an organ, the more regenerative ability it has. If you take
Hey, here's a really disturbing story. A dead woman woke up right before they were going to, obviously she wasn't dead, harvest her organs, and doctors gave her a sedative and just planned to continue removing her organs. It's just unbelievable. This happened a couple of years ago, but we're just now finding out about it because some of the documents have finally been released. Colleen Burns was taken to an emergency room at St. Joseph's Hospital Center, and she was suffering from a drug overdose, okay? A nurse told doctors she is recovering, she is alive, but doctors said, no, we're pronouncing her dead, called her family. Her family said, okay, you can go ahead and harvest her organs. We want the organs to go for something good. Obviously, she wasn't dead. There were several signs that pointed towards her being alive. A mandatory reflex test was performed on the undersides of her feet, and she did clench her toes. She appeared to be breathing without a respirator. Didn't stop doctors. Nurses told doctors that this was going on. Doctors said, give her this really powerful sedative. Now,
my people, I do these True Talk News in order to inform you guys because the news is not going to. This is something that we definitely need to be aware of. You don't want to have to go through those heartaches that those parents that are missing children are currently going through. So to prevent that, let's spread the news, let's spread the words, and let's tell our kids about what is going on. But let's not tell them in a whole monster type of way. But let's inform them. We gotta keep them informed of what's going on, because these schools are not going to, and they are just setting them up to be raped by the system. It's the reason why our oppressors are stealing us. It's the reason why our oppressors hate us. It's the reason why our oppressors just don't want us to succeed. We are rich, y'all. And not even by material things. We are rich with melanin. God has placed riches inside of us that our oppressors cannot buy. Our oppressors try to tan themselves to get the skin color that we have. They try to have surgical procedures to get the riches that God has placed inside of us. Y'all, it's time to wake up and put those riches to use. We have to operate like kings and queens. We have to live and love like kings and queens. It's time to go back to our roots, to the traditions that our ancestors put inside of us, y'all. We are not supposed to live like the rules of the land. We are not supposed to live like the Europeans. We are a special people. We are a particular people. And y'all, it's time to go back to our roots. Rise up, kings and queens. That's True Talk.
Hey, Calvin.